Hello again on Telford. Just this light here. Not a very good day, so to adjust the light. Hope you can see me. Whee! Anyway, today the British First, if you like, the equivalent to the Nazi Party, or if you like, EDL or BNP. They would be the equivalent to, as I said, National Front, Nazi Party, etc. However, what they have done, they seem to have altered the kind of panorama. They're focusing on Muslims, not Muslim as a whole, but Muslims who were abusing these girls, and the system covered it up. What's interesting is that these Muslims are, sorry, not Muslims, I do apologise, these British First, or Britain First, turned up in Shropshire, Telford, Shropshire, on the 25th of August. They've been here before, and now, like someone going to a good restaurant, having a nice meal, and decide to come back again. Now, they had a nice meal because they said the locals were warm and inviting. The local white people were warm and inviting. So the Britain's First decided, in that case, we'll come back for more. Unlike other areas where there's racial harmony, and obviously the blacks and the whites and Indians would boot out Britain's First, unfortunately, in Telford, Shropshire, the people are not as racially sensitive, but seem to be welcoming to this Nazi Party group, because they had no problems. Hence, they returned to promote, this cause. The philosophy, the British First philosophy, is supposed to be about stopping the Islamification of Britain. Muslims building mosques, etc., and challenging British laws. And trying to turn Britain into a Sharia state. I can understand those concerns. That makes sense. However, should I dig deep enough, I am concerned that their rhetoric, goes deeper than that. I'm sure that they are also anti-black with it. If Britain's First was a reputable party, which I'm sure they are, then, as my other video says regarding thick white racist, why is it many white people are not following them? Most people claim to be worried about Muslim terrorists. Here's a perfect party that many white people would sort of receive as the Messiah or the Savior of the white Britain. But it's a very small following. Also, what I notice is that they tend to be ugly white males, overweight, ugly white males who look like football thugs. And I'm thinking, I would not be confident as a black Christian walking past these group who claim to exist purely to deal with the spreading of Islam in Europe or Britain. I, as a black person, would not feel confident walking past all these Nazi-looking males. Now, let me share a story with you, which happened in, I think it was London, a black Muslim who saw off the head of Lee Rigsby, this soldier. And I tell you something, a black Muslim. Now, anyone looking at me can see I look nothing like a Muslim, you know, and yet the tension, the racial tension in Britain over one soldier who had his head mutilated by a black Muslim. And the tension was so high. Now, I'm a Christian, and yet I thought, my gosh, this is so confusing, because even though this is complex to put into words, right? This is a Muslim crime, yet at the same time it was forcing an unholy, unhealthy, contaminated alliance between blacks and the former slave master, the Arab Muslim, the Pakistani Muslim. Because the white racist, not being rational and intelligent, couldn't decipher, couldn't tell the difference between a black Muslim and a Christian. Let me give an example. Sikhs as well. Sikhs wear a top knot, okay, or turban, and so they're not Muslims. They Guru is Guru Nanak, and the Sikhs had their temples targeted by thick white racists who couldn't tell the difference between a Muslim with a long beard, you know, and the Muslim attire and the short hair, and a Sikh. Now, could you imagine if there was a civil war? Rather than these thick white racists learn the difference between Sikhs and black Christians and join forces with us to fight against the evil of Islam, we would end up, the blacks, the Muslims and the Sikhs, forming our alliance, because we would end up being attacked. And yet I'm not a Muslim, nor would I want to defend them. I don't believe in their religion or their theology. Yet if a thick white people were to come to attack me, as well as some Sikhs and Muslims, we're going to form alliances. That's human nature. We form alliances until we get stronger, and then we're not fighting each other. But that's what life is. You always form alliance against a common enemy. Hence, when Lee Rigsby, you know, got sort of assassinated by this black Muslim, the tension in England was so high, so devastating. He ended up with blacks and the Muslims and the Sikhs all together in a stew pot. Why? As it says, when you have a common enemy. And Britain's first, why they went to Telford, Shropshire, I don't know. But they served more harm than good. If you had an organization that were like the Crusades, you know, really wanted to promote Christian values, Christianity, then no problem. Because we do have the Muslim Crusade still existing today. They kill Christians all over Africa. I call that the Muslim Crusade. Now we have Dawa Muslims who are trying to spread Islam through different means, through charity and trying to be all nicey nice. But still, it's a Muslim crusade, but it's on a deadly level. But if we had a Christian crusade, which is not allowed in Europe, by the way, if we had a Christian crusade where we could contain the Muslim, contain Islam, then perfect, no problem. But Britain's First or EDL or BNP were against blacks, but they tried to, modernize their party and pretend they were against Muslims. Well, BNP, everybody knows what they stand for, so they try to hide it as a back burner. But Britain's First, and notably, and EDL, right, having the founder of EDL, for his name, he left because he realized his party was not just attacking or dealing with Islam, but it became a racist party. You're going to attract those idiots in it anyway. Wherever you have a party like that, you're going to attract the social misfits, the crookfoots, the freak shows. And that's why he left the EDL. Britain's First is no different. They claim, oh, we're targeting all these Muslim pedophiles, all these Muslims who are abusing our white girls, putting them on the streets, etc. And the authorities turn a blind eye. That's beautiful. It's a noble cause. I accept that. You're a decent human being. You're going to accept that these Muslims need to be punished. This isn't Arabia. It isn't Pakistan. This is Europe. You can't do your Muslim ways in Europe. But unfortunately, Britain's First are their own enemy and people that they represent, because they do not only use Islam as a pretext, but you can guarantee they are also a racist party. And that's the reason why they have no power. You see them with the little hoodies, right, with the British flag or the St. George's flag, walking and hodling. You think, wait there, these people ain't normal. I'll send some pictures of you in a second. You think if it's very strange that Muslims were abusing, right, these white girls. And the best Britain's First could come up with is maybe 2,000 people, if that, or 1,000 or 500. That's the best they can come up with. You know full well you need a proper PR. You need proper counselling, how to dress properly, how to wear a nice tie, how to wash your face. Don't frighten people. Who the hell wants to march next to a neo-Nazi, that reminds you of Adolf Hitler's men? And that's the reason why they don't have proper representation. Britain's First, at the end of the day, although they claim to be targeting Muslim pedophiles, etc., that is the pretext. That is nothing more than a smoke screen, right? Beyond, if you look at their list, the blacks are next, the Jews are next, the Sikhs are next. And that's the reason why, and that's the reason why no one takes them seriously. No one takes them seriously. They always have an underlying agenda. If you're going to look, if you know me, I don't believe in political correctness. I don't believe in it. I believe in speaking the truth. If one thing that I've learned, and that is, it's good to unload yourself. Lying to yourself is going to eat you out. We're not born to harbor true feelings and not let it out. It causes cancer. This idea that we're not supposed to express how we feel politically, or fear of being told we're bigots. It's unnatural. It's unnatural. We're human beings. We're supposed to engage together, talk together. You know, some of my best students have been white racist. We've had conversation and debates, and they turn out to be my best students, white racist. Can you imagine? Never owed me a penny. It was the liberals that owed me money, but never as a white student, a racist white student, I should say, sorry, never as a white racist student ever owed me money. Always liberals. It's good to talk. It's good to be honest. Nobody's saying you can't have an opinion. The government's telling you that, but I don't believe in controlling people and censoring freedom. But don't bullshit about your agenda. If you don't want blacks in your country, don't use Muslims as a pretext. Be honest. Say no blacks, no Muslims. Don't bullshit. Don't use some kind of, that's one thing I hate is people that will hide. Let me give you an example. The civil rights movement, the black civil rights movement, the only reason why white liberals supported it was because they wanted to push this sexual revolution, this LGBT, homosexuality. And what better way than to use the black civil rights? And the white liberals are still doing it. They're still doing it. If you force something, don't bother hide your hand. Come out with it. Let people know what you're fighting for. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. People will respect you more. There's one thing, it's the age we're living in. It's a stupid age where people are cowardly. You know, I've had some, some of the videos I've made, I've been called, I get some good, very complimentary video, right? Some people call me names. So what? Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. We can't criminalize that. And now we have Britain's first, they're a racist party, using Muslims as an excuse. They should have the perfect platform to come up with their intention. Say, look, we don't want blacks in England. We don't want Sikhs. Come out with it. Come out with your intention. Stop playing games. And people respect you. In fact, I have more respect for white racist party than I do white liberals. I tell you that now. I have more respect for white racists, but I can sit down and talk my differences, talk our differences. In fact, one of my hardcore white racist students, do you know, right, he's the only person that said to me, thank you very much. I won't mention his name, but he had a record deal as a result of my teaching. And do you know, he's the only one that came and said thank you. I think it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and he rang me. And he said, I want to thank you for what you've done for me. This was a racist, not a liberal, a racist. I want to thank you for what you've done for me. This record company signed him up. I won't mention who he is, what his name. That's irrelevant. I said thank you for all what I've done for him. A racist, a white racist. We used to have our arguments, etc. Blah blah blah. But when it came time to teaching, he respected me as a professional. That's the difference. It's good to talk and it's good to be honest. I never judged him. I never judged him. He was entitled to his opinion. Don't bullshit. Don't lie. If you think homosexuality is unnatural, come out with it. Don't let the system brainwash you and tell you how you think or what to think. If you don't want black people in your country, As long as you don't lead to physical harm, you're entitled to say so. If I don't think white people should be in Africa or in Jamaica, I'm entitled to say so. If I believe black people are superior to white people, I can say that. If white people believe they're superior to me, they can say that. You cannot criminalize people's thoughts or people's what they want to say. You cannot. And that's what's happening. That's why you got Britain's first who are hiding behind the Muslim movement, hiding, attacking them, but really they have an ulterior agenda. That kind of movement is dangerous. When you're hiding your hand and promoting something else. That's evil. There is nothing that I've said that I cannot defend in any court of law. What I know about these judges, what I know, you don't mess with me. Mike, I'm a bookworm. I know how corrupt the legal system is. And I don't just mean normal corruption, serious corruption. And you're allowing these people to control your thoughts. No wonder the likes of Britain First have to hide like girls. Muslim. But really, they have a wider agenda. But they're too cowardly to come up with it. Too cowardly. They're too scared. Not me. Not me. If I was to go on TV, my views remain the same. My views remain the same. If I don't believe in homosexuality and somebody give me £1 million, my views remain the same. There's something in this life we have to remain true to, and that is our integrity and ourselves. We have to remain true to ourselves and our integrity. If we really stand for something, fight for it. Fight for it. Don't let no system, no government make a law against your thoughts, your opinion. Shut that in a second. I'm going to post some of the pictures of the Britain's First who was in Telford. I really wanted to go. I really did. I wanted to see. I got one of these what do you call it, pin spy cameras. I got one of those ones. I wanted to, go there and share it on camera. But my white friend says no. They says no. Why? This is my white friend said. They said they will see you the same as Muslims. They just hate us. Can you imagine? This is Britain's First using the Muslims card claiming we're about Islam, but my white friends are saying no, they're not. They're racist also, and that's what knocks down their movement. That's why people don't take their movement seriously. If you're going to represent something, don't have double agendas. I hate people with agendas. Just come out with it. What the hell you're about? Don't play games. You don't have to love me. I don't have to love you. Why the hell should I take you to court for not loving me? What kind of bullshit this age is we're living in? I'm gay. I want you to love me. I'm a woman. I want you to love me and feel sorry for me. I'm white. I'm black. We've become a nation of weak-willed swines. We couldn't even survive the Third World War. Look how weak we are. Look how weak and spineless we've become. Crybabies. crybabies. And you can't see how this is how the government are controlling us. Yeah, you've been offended. There. Don't you can't say black. There. You can't say white. There. You can't say blonde. You can't say fat. You can't say disabled. You can't say that. This is the government who they create intelligent bombs, smart bombs. They go into space and they play your silly games. They know how cheap we are. Oh, I can't say, black keys. I can't say black keys on the piano. I should only play white keys. I should only play white keys. Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? George Orwell said, "We are arriving at an age where to speak the truth, it's going to be brave. To speak the truth. Can you imagine being afraid to speak the truth? Can you imagine how that must feel? Let me give you an example. If I said to you, this is a golden Buddhist statue, brass. I'm not sure of the lighting, what color it comes up, but I can see it golden. He says, no, it's red. It's red. I said, no, it's golden. And then I find it offensive. I see it as golden. I said, this is how we're trained. But then what happens is, if you only see it as red, it's red. They're challenging the very laws of reasoning, the very laws of survival and common sense, the very laws of natural dialoguing and how things make sense and interlock and the art of communication. It's a horrible world that we're living in. Really horrible. When you have to hide your agenda behind something else, then you know we live in a sad world. There were claims that Esther Ransom, when she got involved with Childline, her career was flagging. It's only because, she gave up That's Life on BBC. And in fact, somebody said to her, if you want to know where the gold is, deal with children's charity. That's an agenda. She didn't really like children. It was a career move. That's an agenda. There's nothing worse than when somebody has an agenda and yet they use something else to drive that agenda. It's horrible. Sorry, Britain's first. They're using Muslims, but really, they're a racist party. It just gives them more credibility. Oh, we're against the Muslims, etc. Everybody's against the Muslims, but you know full well. Let a black person walk past one of the marches And you soon realise it's not just the Muslims they're against. They're against the Sikhs. They're against hard-working black people. I will post the pictures now.